Once upon a time in Loveland, Colorado, there was a little boy named Glen. And Glen wanted to be an artist. But his father said, oh no, you can't be an artist, you won't make any money. You could be a printer. That's almost the same thing. And so Glen became a printer. But the years went by and he never gave up his dream of being an artist. And finally, he entered an art school and he was appreciated. He did good grades and so forth. And he learned printmaking. And this was a link between his dream to be an artist and to be and his skills in printers. Well, years went by, and unfortunately, the department of the school where he taught was run by painters, and painters hated printmakers. They didn't hate them, but they viewed them as kind of a lesser artist, children of a lesser god, you might say. Well, the years went by, and Glen finally hit upon an idea where he could combine the art of collage, which is a painting technique, with making prints, and he called it the Collagraph. And he went even further, and he designed a press for it, and he had shows, and he inculcated this dream of this miracle process called Collagraph in his students. Well, the rest of the faculty didn't like that very much because they had to be like other colleges and offer all of the processes, etching and woodcut and silkscreen and lithography, and Glen could do all those things. But he decided that the Collagraph was all of those things in one. Well, it kind of got him in trouble, and finally they said, Glen, you got to put a stop to this singular view that you have, and you need to hire somebody to help you. And so he said, well, I will get a protege. And he went abroad and he found a protege, some young person who was in danger of being drafted into the Vietnam conflict. And he hired this young man. He was only 24 years old. And he hired him to be his protege. He said to him, would you teach Collagraph exclusively? And the young man said, well, of course, anything to stay out of the army. So he went to teach with Glen at the university. Glen had, by that time, invented or designed an etching press specifically for the Collagraph. It was huge and was designed to make big plates and lots of pressure. So this notion of inventing a new technique, inventing a new press and so forth, was part of the lessons that the young man learned. Well, the years went by, and oddly enough, this protege turned into be not a protege so much, but in Glen's view, since the protege didn't want to keep teaching Collagraph, he thought the press was too big and expensive, and he had all these objections, and they kind of got into a conflict. And it divided the department, and a lot of trouble ensued, until finally they fired the protege. By then, Glen had retired, and well, the printmaking department just sort of disappeared. And they turned it into a kind of design class and gave it a different name. And so today, at the University of Washington, there is no printmaking department, but there is a history, and I'm telling that history. I was there. I was the protege. Thanks. I'm Bill Ritchie. Oh, and this is the press I invented. It's 3D printed, and it's coming along. It's not finished, but I'm making progress. I've adapted a German press printed by 3D, and I'm putting my own parts and profile of the press I invented. And it's miniature, and it prints playing card size prints called artist cards. And I'm having a ball. Thanks for watching. I'm Bill Ritchie.